Since he took over at Microsoft in 2014, the market cap has gone up by $250 billion. I said, how did you effect this turnaround? And he said, it's very simple. We moved the culture from a fixed to a growth mindset. He said, the problem is that Microsoft had become a know-it-all culture. Everybody in the organization, or many of them, a critical mass, wanted to look like the smartest person in the room. If you want to look like the smartest person in the room, what's the last thing you want to hear about? That you don't know something, your weaknesses, the defects in the product line. And if you're a senior person and people know you don't want to hear where they are, they're not going to tell you about it. Do you see what I mean? It completely destroys the innovation that is central to a technology company functioning effectively. To put it in more technical terms, we always have a certain degree of psychological latitude about how we interpret our experiences. People in a fixed mindset, people who want to look smart, interpret everything. They use every single inch of latitude to justify their prior assumptions and to defend their ego, because their ego is threatened by suboptimality. He said we need to change the culture from a know-it-all culture to a learn-it-all culture. I know what you're thinking, it sounds quite naff. But can you see, what do you most want to hear about when you're in a learn-it-all culture? You want to know the weaknesses. You want to know the opportunities that are out there that enable you to grow. You proactively pursue that. You're not defensive when people come and say the product could be improved. You want to get the minimum viable product out there early to find the inevitable bugs and deficiencies in the prototype or the software. When Galileo developed a telescope that you could look through and essentially verify the sun is the center of the solar system and not the Earth, and he presented it to the scientific community, what do you think they said? We're not looking. They refused to look. Why didn't they want to look? They are natural scientists. Their job is to understand the natural world. Here is a device that gives them access to more data about the natural world. They didn't look. Why didn't they look? They were worried that the device would point out their deficiencies, the problems with their existing predictive models. I call this in black box thinking a closed loop. You see them everywhere, the criminal justice system, many public institutions, but also many corporate institutions. To get that into an open loop or a high performance culture, that takes real proactivity. And it was only when science moved over here, you know, we're talented, we understand a bit about the world, quite a lot, but there's more to learn. Can you see how the culture moves from defensive, where you're not allowed to perform experiments, you don't want to look through the telescope, you kill people who tell you where the predictive model is going wrong, to a situation where if there's more to learn, what do you want to do at that point? You want to perform experiments. You're trying to find out what you don't know.